Yo, it's Abe. Welcome back to Under the Hood. Today we're going to be checking out Missy Elliott and Brat's 1997 track, Sock It To Me, produced by Timbaland, aka this guy. And maybe he's always been that guy. But before Timbo became exclusively a shill for tech bros, literally consuming artistic toil and self-expression to shut out AI weaponry so they can enjoy the apocalypse to bespoke playlists of generative slop and... Anyway. Once upon a time, Timbaland was also one of the most talented and singular producers hip-hop and later pop have ever encountered. Numerous hits, including all have his idiosyncratic and unique musical stamp on them. No one really sounded like this before or after. Sock It To Me is a great one to pull apart because as far as Timbaland beats go, it's relatively simple and a little earlier in the career, so we can kind of look at the drums from a more conventional standpoint. Sock It To Me samples Ready or Not by the Delphonics. Ready or Not is a bit of a hip hop staple as far as sample material goes. It's on 3 6 Mafia's 2000 track Who Run It, and probably most notably or popularly on the Fugees track of the same name. I don't think it's actually sampled, but Lauren sings the hook melody and the bridge melody on the Fugees track. She's obviously a big Delphonics fan because she also sings the melody from Walk Right Up to the Sun on If I Ruled the World with Nas. Adrian Young, who's one of my favorite modern producers in that lineage, made a really cool album in 2013 called Adrian Young Presents the Delphonics, in collaboration with the lead singer and founding member William Hart. Well worth checking out. So our hook chords are playing these voicings. So I've got that click on there so you can kind of hear that there's an interesting little element where the first bar is all G minor, second bar starts on the E flat, and on the 3 and 4 and it goes back up to G minor. So rather than it being 4 beats on the E flat and 4 beats on the G minor, we've got 5 beats on the E flat and 3 beats on the G minor, which creates this little offsetness, this little kind of subconscious swing, this thing that keeps our ear coming back to it. Other songs that would use, that I think are kind of comparable in an uneven 8th note pattern are like Still Dre with Scott Storch's like iconic keys pattern. The change happens at a different point than you would expect when it goes from the A minor to the E minor and back. And it just feels funkier than like it being real on the grid, you know, this changes on the 1, this changes on the 3, this changes on the 1 again. It's a great device to put into any chord progression you're using, especially one that's using a repeated rhythmic pattern. Maybe make the harmonic change happen at a different point than somebody might expect. So that sound, I've just got augmented strings playing it on the violin ricochet sound, just for a cool kind of treated staccato sound. The brass is also augmented brass. Shout out Arturia. It's not killing the part, but it's definitely enough that in the mix it comes out and feels right. Yeah, so I'm not going to embarrass myself by soloing that too much more, but when you hear it with everything, I think it's holding the space. Quite interestingly, there is a string bass part. It sounds crazy on its own, but I feel like this is pretty close to the chops that are on the real track. And there's a low 808 bass booming as well. get them together. I've got a little vinyl static playing the eighth note too, and an organ kind of doubling the strings too. So the song has a lot of like dusty elements. Timbaland's production is very textural. There are really cool, unusual, often kind of cinematic things happening in there. Like these bird noises. Check out the track. There's these crazy bird noises happening in there. I've done my best to find something in the world. Honestly, that's in there. Like, have a listen again. Now the verse actually has different chords. It still starts on a bar of the G minor, then it goes to C minor and F minor. Those ones are changing on the 1 and the 3. But it's not like the most common thing in the world, particularly in hip hop, to have a chord change for the verse and chorus. So it's quite cool that there's this harmonic variance in those two sections, and also that the verse has more harmonic movement than the chorus. So the chorus is kind of like just throwing down, and the verse has this sort of movement that creates a bit more breadth for, I don't know, like emotion or flow patterns, or and it feels like a return to home when it hits that when it hits the hook. Something about that switch to the G minor helps the brass line hit better too. So the drums are this really cool 8-bar pattern which cycle through the song. I'll play the whole thing and then we can break it down. And then when you add the string bass, it hits these real nice parts of it. I'll put the string bass and the 808 kick drum in there because they kind of fill out the whole thing. Yeah, so the kicks movement is really beautiful. Play it with the click. It's just so good. Sometimes I feel like Timbaland uses drums almost like a melodic instrument. Like they take a lot more liberties. They're not in a subservient role. They're like they're leading the dance. You know what I mean? Hi-hat's consistent, except for that one doing those little like anticipatory bits. So it's really the kicks that are doing the most interesting stuff on this one. But then combining it with those little bass chops and the 808s hitting another like kind of accent against it. It's so good, so good. Timbo's actual snares and kicks are slightly more swung. The snares are a bit more on top of the beat, like almost to the point of being rushed. But I had to quantize this a bit for a lesson for people. So it's in the world, but I think his ones feel even better. Let's hear the whole thing. my main takeaways on this, other than just a great example of brilliant production, and the rest of this song is killer too. Missy's so good on it. The Brat, I think, is probably kind of underrated as well. Don't be afraid to put real weird shit in your songs. It's like they're constantly like, listen to is it Are You That Somebody by Aaliyah? Timbaland's got like that baby voice in it. There's like just totally like left things in some amazing songs that you wouldn't even notice are there, but they must be adding this otherness to them that makes us connect with them in some way. That, and be creative with your drums. Come up with cool drum patterns. Maybe let the drums be the boss and everything else can fall in line, you know? Shout out Timbaland. Music made by humans is preferable to me. Whatever, man, you do you. Thanks for the music you made back in the day. Yeah, but hopefully this is helpful to you. Let me know if there's any songs in particular you want me to recreate and do a breakdown on. Within reason, I'd say we can do it. Thanks for checking this out, and catch you next time.